Hello everybody, today we will be discussing some bird products that should be avoided at any cost. These are the products that are made for birds, they are advertised for birds, they are marketed for birds, but they should be kept away from birds as much as possible. Why? Because they just don't do the things that they are supposed to do. That is, they promise something else, they don't do the thing, or they can be injurious to your bird, they can cause serious health complications, and in the worst case they can be even fatal. So these are the things that are just either useless or dangerous for your birds and you should stay away from them. The first bird product that should be avoided is grate. Now what is grate? Grates are basically rock like structures. They are insoluble minerals that are used by some birds. Some birds like chickens for example use grates. They are used because chickens eat a lot of stuff. Some stuff is hard to digest. Now the grates usually help them to grind down everything that they have ingested. So some birds require grates, some birds do not. But I more often, a lot of the time, I see people with budgies and cockatiels buy grates, and cockatiels and budgies do not require grates. And giving grits to birds that do not require grits like budgies can do more harm than good. Now it is very simple to determine if your bird requires grit. You just go to Google and type, does the name of your bird require grit? Like in my case, do budgies require grit? No. So the answer is no, because they remove the outer covering of the seeds that they eat, and hence they do not require grit. So make sure if you are giving grit, your bird requires it. If your bird does not require grit, do not give it to them. The next bird product that should be avoided is fancy bird toys. Now birds do not care what bird toy you give unless birds prefer to shred, they prefer shiny things, or they just prefer a bell that they could ring. These are the things that are required, and a lot of the bird toys that I see in the store are way too fancy, and your bird won't even care that much. I make my own bird toys from paper, cardboard, some wooden chips. I have some beads and bells, and there are just some things that I have with me, and I just make my own bird toys, and my birds are very happy and they do not require any more toys. So you should avoid all that fancy toys with a lot of plastic, a lot of things that are hanging and just are useless for your birds. The next thing that should be avoided for bird is millets. Now I know a lot of people who will give millets as the primary diet and only diet for their budgies, and this causes liver diseases in birds, especially budgies, because millets are nothing but more than fats, and fats are not that great for the birds that are kept in captivity. Now a lot of people argue that
Because it seeds all the time when they are in the wild, they are outside, they are flying, they are eating seeds.
but here's the thing, they fly thousands of miles, not thousands but at least hundreds of miles every day, and no matter how much exercise and how much time you give your bird outside the cage, it won't be equivalent to that, and your bird will never be able to just burn all the fat if you give only millets to them as their primary diet, and this can cause a lot of injuries to your bird and health complications. So millets are the next thing that should be avoided. The next thing that should be avoided, that is the fourth thing, is mirrors. Now mirrors and mirror toys. Now there are a lot of controversies relating whether mirrors are bad for birds or good. Now here's what I found. Birds will look at the reflection and not get that it is a reflection. They will either treat it like a mate and a friend, and or otherwise enemy, and they will just keep talking to their own reflection, and when they don't get the desired response they just get frustrated. So mirrors can cause a lot of psychological damage to your birds. There is a controversy out there whether mirrors are that bad, but I just prefer not to use them at all, especially if you have one budgie. Now if there is only one bird, then millets. If there is only one bird, then mirrors are especially bad, because the bird has no one to be with. He doesn't have all the flock members, and usually birds are social animals, and so he will sort of keep interacting with the mirror, but he won't know that it's just a reflection. So mirrors should be avoided for the budgies and all birds because they are just more harmful than good. The fifth thing that should be avoided that I see a lot in pet store is sandpaper purchase. This is like walking on sandpaper for trimming your nails. They are meant to trim the bird's nails which grow too long. Now the problem is that it trims the nails, but it also irritates the inner lining of their feet, and the inner lining of their feet is a little softer than the outside. It is not that scaly, so your bird might get bumblefoot. It might get a lot of scratches, cuts. Also sometimes the particles of the sandpaper get embedded in their foot, and it causes a lot of pain to them. The best way to trim birds nails is using something like this. This is a natural wooden perch that I got. I have cleaned this, disinfected this. My birds love to rub their beak on the side of this, so their beak stays trimmed, their nails stays trimmed, their feet stay healthy. This is the best thing. Sandpaper purchase should be avoided and replaced with this. The next thing that should be avoided is this. Now these are the plastic dishes which usually come with the bird cage that you purchase. These, and there are also some other dishes which are made up of plastic. And here's the problem: birds love to chew, and they will chew on anything, including plastic, and their beaks can be a little strong. Now this is a good quality plastic. My budgies cannot just break this, but bigger birds might. And I know there was a water dish that I had. I used it as a bath in my bird cage, and they just ripped the side of it and ingested it. And as soon as I saw it, I replaced it. And I think the best thing to do is getting something like this. This is ceramic and this is steel. This is their new water dish. Uh, this is their new water dish and their food dish. They just had their meal, that is why it is a little crusty. But they cannot just ingest this thing, and plastic is one of the worst thing that your bird can ingest. So just replacing the plastics with something like steel or ceramic is the best thing that I can suggest. Also, one added bonus is that whenever I used to clean this, there used to be a lot of bacteria build up and a lot of food just stuck in the corners of this bowl. Now when I have something like this, which is pretty much round and has no corners, it is a lot easier to just scrape off everything and clean everything. And we have to clean the water dishes and food dishes every day, so it is something that I like a lot about these dishes, that they don't have any corners. The next bird product that I do not like, and I just don't get why it is there, is bird bath conditioner. Now these are some sort of spray or some liquid which you put on in the water that your bird uses for bathing. Now birds bathe with water, while birds just use normal water. There is no need to condition the water that they use. And they also just clean themselves using their beaks, and they are just very clean overall, and they do not require any sort of conditioners for bathing. There are just a few brands making them, but I just don't get why they exist in the first place. The next thing, that is the eighth thing that you should avoid for your bird, is supplements, that is vitamin supplements. Now it is a good idea. I have a bottle of vitamin supplement for my birds and turtles, and I give it to them when I think they are a little sick or just not that healthy. But I also take them to the vet, and also make sure that the vet suggests that I use vitamins. Now using vitamins is alright, but as long as you are not using vitamins every day. Now the bird should get all the vitamins and nutrients and everything it needs from the diet that it eats. Now If you are feeding your bird a healthy diet, I don't know why there is a need for a vitamin supplement in your bird in the first place. And just overdoing the vitamins is not a good idea either. So if your bird is having a healthy diet, skip the vitamins until he is weak or your vet suggests. The ninth thing that you should avoid is wrong pellets. The keyword here is wrong. I just like to make sure that every time you go to the bird store to buy your pellets, just go to the back and check the ingredients and make sure that everything in the ingredients, or at least most of the things that are included in the ingredients, are either safe for your bird, or better than safe, they should be good for your bird, they should be healthy for your bird. If the ingredients are unhealthy or they are just something like millets as the base, avoid them. Just do not buy the seed mix or the pellets which just have the wrong composition and are unhealthy for your bird. The next thing that I have recently seen in pet store is these hammocks. Now the problem with it is they suggest that your bird gets a comfy place to hide and sleep into. Now here's the thing, birds do not sleep in dens. Birds sleep on a, they will just sit on a perch, they will put their one leg up, they will tuck it beneath their fluff feathers, they will put their beak inside their feathers and they will sleep. They sleep on perches. They do not require something enclosed like a den to sleep. They are not lions, they are birds. Also the next problem, there are quite a few problems with that product, and number one is they do not require it. The second thing is that it might stimulate breeding behavior because it's an enclosed space, and the bird might just use it like a breeding box and a nest laying box rather than something to sleep into. So if you're not looking into breeding your bird, that might not be the best thing you do or add to your bird cage. The next thing that concerns me about these hammocks or tents or whatever these are is that they are made from loose fibers. They are made soft using loose fibers. Now birds will peck on anything, and I'm pretty sure everything will get undone the very day that you introduce it into your bird's cage. Also birds feet have nails, and they can get trapped into the hammocks, and if you don't notice it, it might just dehydrate or starve your bird. If you're going out to work for 8 hours, suppose your bird is stuck in that hammock without water, without food, so that is something that I'm more concerned with. And also they just don't require it, so why bother getting one? The last thing that you should avoid in your bird cage is the perches that come with the cage or the commercially bought ones. Those perches are usually something of plastic or steel, and they just are something with similar diameter, and they are just like pipes. I would rather suggest you use something like this. This is a wooden perch. You can buy some wooden perches in pet store, which is something I like and I highly recommend. Otherwise you can just go out into the wild, find some wooden twigs fallen, make sure that the wood of the tree you are using is safe for your bird. The tree was not sprayed with pesticide or insecticide, because that might harm your bird. Also disinfect the wood and also clean it before you introduce. This is a whole another topic on how to prepare perches for your birds. I will be making a video on that, so be sure to subscribe. So these are the things that I do not recommend for your birds. So these are the things that I do not recommend that your bird should have. You should just stop buying these if you're buying this. If there were anything that you were already buying, let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you learned something new, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for turtle, birds, bugs, plant content if you are interested in any of that. Thank you guys, thanks for watching. This was the list of 10 things that or 10 bird products that I think should be avoided.